Hi everyone, welcome to Homemade Science with me, Miss Allison. In Homemade Science, this program, we make fun things that we find at home. And today we are going to make moon sand, and we're going to make it using things that you might already have in your home. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to need, and then we're going to make it. So the first thing that you're going to need for your moon sand is some all-purpose flour. It can be any brand at all, any type. You're going to need 8 cups of this all-purpose flour. So the next thing that you're going to need is some baby oil. Again, it can be any brand at all, and we're going to need 1 cup of this baby oil. The next thing you will need is a measuring cup. I have a 1 cup measuring cup here, and I'm going to use this to measure my flour and my oil. Then you're going to need a dough blender, which is this piece of equipment here, and then we're going to use this to mix the flour and the oil together to make our moon sand. The last thing that we're going to need is a bowl, or I'm going to use this. It's a container because I've heard that this is going to get kind of messy. So I thought I would use this large container to mix everything together. And then once it's all mixed and we can play around with it and things, I might transfer to a smaller bowl. I'm just gonna wait and see how it goes and how it works. So I am all ready to start my experiment, and I can't wait to see how it's gonna turn out. Okay, so I'm all set up here. I've got my large container and I am all ready to get started with our moon sand experiment. So I've got my measuring cup here, and I'm going to measure 8 cups of flour. So here we go. There's 1. 2. Okay, so I've measured my 8 cups of flour in here. Now I'm going to add my 1 cup of my baby oil. So here it is. Here I've got my oil. I'm gonna measure my cup of oil. Might just take a moment to fill this up. So this is just baby oil going in here. 1 cup. And then once this is measured, I'm going to pour it on top of my flour, and then I'm going to mix it with my dough blender. Almost done. It smells pretty good already, actually. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. All right, here it goes. I'm gonna pour it on top of my flour. Okay. Wow. This is going to be interesting to see how it works. So next I've got my dough blender, and I'm just going to use it to mix everything together. And it might just take a little bit of time to get everything blended. And I don't know, I might need to add more baby oil or more flour depending on the consistency. But I'm just going to work this together. So let me just take a couple moments to do that. So one thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of the oil is just getting trapped at the bottom. You might see some of it on my finger here. So I'm just using my hands to mix that together by hand, and then I'll use my dough blender again once I get the oil kind of incorporated a little bit more. You can kind of see it there. You can kind of see it there on the side. So I'm just going to use my hands for a moment to try and mix that together a little more, and then I'll use my dough blender again to get it all finely mixed together. So I've been mixing this now for a few minutes, and I think it's a pretty good consistency. I think that most of the oil is blended in with the flour. And still maybe a few little bits, but that's okay. You know, you can actually even just use your fingers to blend this together. I don't think that you really need the dough blender. It might be useful if you have it, but you could probably just use your fingers to mix it together like this if you don't. Okay, so let's see. Oh wow, it really does kind of stick together. Look at that. That's pretty nice. So I wonder if I should add some food coloring or if I should leave it this color. Maybe I'll just leave it this color for now. So I think I might put this out on a tray so that we can play around with it a little bit and see what we can do with it. It actually feels really nice. It's a nice soft consistency, but it does hold its shape quite well, like you can see. So I wonder if we could try different molding, different things like that. So let me go and get a few things that we can play with our moon sand. So I have a couple of things here, just a cup. I'm just going to fill it up with the moon sand and see if I can make a mold. Let's see if this will work. Pushed it in there. It does! And actually, it really holds pretty well. Let me try another one. I can even pack it a little more tightly. So it's pretty good at holding its shape, which is really nice actually. Let's see if we can get that out here, tap it a little bit. Oh, kind of fell apart a little bit, but that's okay, it looks pretty good. So that's just an ordinary cup, just a plastic cup. Let me see if I could do something with a bowl. I'm sure it'll work as well. And you can make a smaller portion if you want. You don't have to make a big batch like this. You could probably half the ingredients you could use if you wanted 4 cups of flour and half a cup of the baby oil. That would probably work just fine as well. That works pretty good. Nice. So actually I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pour this out onto a flatter tray because these sides are kind of restraining me a little bit with what I can do. So let me just take these out. And I have a large flat tray. I'm going to put it here and I'm just going to pour this out onto it. There it goes. A little bit stuck here in the corners. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, that's pretty good. It actually kind of, I mean, if you can imagine what moon sand looks like, I would say this kind of really does look like moon sand because the flour and the oil mixed together, it really makes a nice consistency. It actually kind of looks a little bit just like regular sand. It just smells like the baby oil. Let's pack that in here. That's pretty good. I didn't pack that one very tightly. I can pack this one a little bit more tightly and see if we can get a better shape. And just play around with it a little bit. So you can try different things with a cup or with a little shape, even a bowl. And it really is quite fun to play with. You can try all these different things and just make different molds. Even just for the texture, if you like things that have a good texture, you can just play with that. It's quite relaxing to feel that. It's quite a nice sensory thing to do, so you can try that as well. Well, I would say this is pretty good, pretty successful. And it reminds me a little bit of kinetic sand. It kind of has that consistency where you can make a shape, but then it also can crumble apart. So that's a really nice homemade thing that you can do to keep yourself busy if you want to do a fun activity. And this batch that I made is quite big, so you might not want to make this much. If you want to make a smaller batch, you can. All right. So something else you can do with this, I have a mold here. It's like a little castle. So I'm going to build a sand castle. Let's see how this works. Let's try it. Hopefully it'll work well. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, not bad. So you could build some sand castles as well, or whatever you want to do. It works pretty well. It actually works really nicely because it is kind of a little damp because of the oil, so it sticks together pretty well. That's a pretty good one. So you could try different things like this and have fun with it. So you can see I just used my mold to make some sandcastles here, and it's kind of fun. So you can try that out too if you want, or you can just play with it with your hands too. So as I was playing with this, I realized that it really does feel like sand you would find on a beach. So I thought rather than doing a moon sand, we could just do like a beach sand. So I'm just using my hands to kind of flatten it and make it look like a beach, because as I'm recording this, there's snow on the ground outside. So I'm dreaming about going to a nice warm beach. So imagine this is the beach. So let's maybe put some loungers, some nice chairs here. Wouldn't that be nice to be on the beach? And maybe we'll bring some friends along. Hello. And they can sit on the chairs, they can relax, enjoy the nice sandy beach. Well, maybe some more friends will come along. Here's another friend coming along. Hi friend. Let's put him here. He's kind of sliding. And I got a couple more here. Here's another friend. Hello. What a beautiful day for the beach. Oh, I got one more friend. So you can just play with this. You can do different things. They're kind of sliding because of the baby oil. It's making it a little slippery, but that's okay. So you can see, you can just play and have fun with it. You can do whatever you like and just enjoy it. Well friends, I really enjoyed making that moon sand, and it really was a lot of fun to try that and to feel the different texture. I enjoyed it, it was fun. If you get a chance to try this, it's going to get kind of messy, so make sure you have a nice open space where you don't mind where some of it falls on the floor or whatever. You could even do it outside if the weather's nice. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope that you enjoy making your moon sand if you get a chance to do it. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.